Okay, hello everyone. Alright, so in this video we are going to talk about the new line character. Alright, it's an escape sequence. The new line character escape sequence. Alright, so in the last video we talked about mixing print and the println statements. Now we talked about in the last couple of videos we've talked about the print and the println statement, right? So we know that the print function, the System.out.print function, it displays whatever we told it to display. So anything in between the two double quotations, it doesn't display the two double quotations itself. Anything in between so basically this is a string literal. We talked about it, right? A series of characters joined together, surrounded with double quotations. Now the double quotations is just starting or signaling the beginning of the string and the end of the string. It's not displayed itself. What's going to be displayed is what I've highlighted here. Okay, so we know that the print function just prints whatever I told it to print, which is first line, and then the position stays right there. Anything that comes after it is going to continue right from there. So when I run this, well, first of all, compile it so that it translates it to the computer. So that it translates into machine language so that the machine can understand it. And when I run this now, it's going to go ahead and display first line. The position is waiting for me right there. So when I make a copy of this line and I paste it right below it, change this to second line so we can see the difference. When I compile this again, we translate it to the computer into machine language, or basically add the change to it. When I run it, we can see that after first line is displayed, second line continues right from the end of first line. Okay, that's how the print function works. There's no ln at the end. The print function just works like we've talked about it. If you're not clear on this, please watch the previous videos. I think it's two or three of them, and you'll understand the way print and println works. All right, so this is because it's print. We know how print works already. It just displays the line, keeps the position there, and then whatever comes after it is going to be displayed from where it's at. Okay, so that's why it's displayed from where it's at. After first line is printed, the position stays here, and then second line is also printed here. Okay, now what if we want a line? What if we want a line to separate these two? Is our only option changing this to println? Because we know that println is going to display the first line. Well, first of all, let me compile this and then run it again. Is our only option displaying or changing this to println, because we know println displays first line, right? We can see it here, first line. You can see first line here. But because there's an ln at the end, after displaying first line, the position will be here, right? It moves the position from here, from where it's at the moment, to the next line, and waits for the next thing. The next thing or the next line is going to be System.out.print second line. So because the position has been moved from here to here, the second line is displayed from this next line. So println, we know, prints whatever you've told it to print, and then moves the position from where it's at to the next line. And anything that comes after this first print statement, which is the second statement, second line, is going to be displayed from that next line. So is that our only option by using println? No, right? We can still stick with print. Now the way it works when we run it, we know how it works. I'm going to go ahead and compile this because I've made changes, and then run it again. We know the way it works, it's displaying this way, okay, with no line separating them. We don't have to always use a println, right? There's something called the new line character, which is something special. It's basically like a command you can embed in your string. You can just add it to your string. It's not going to be printed on the screen. It's a command that tells your program to basically break that line into two, or basically move the position to the next line. Now I'll explain. So the way it knows, now you think that when I add something like this, it will display it, right? You think that anything that I add into the string, it will display it. So when I just added the string, it displayed it too. You can see it here somewhere. So I'm going to undo it just so I go back to where I was. So if I type in, let's say, a \n, you'd think that it should display \n, right? But as soon as you type in \, just the \, it knows that it knows that you are telling the program that, oh, okay, I'm about to type in one of the special characters. If it's not one of the special characters, then nothing is going to happen. But there are some special characters that perform, certain actions or make certain things to happen. One of them is the letter N. As soon as you type in the \n, okay, as soon as you type in the \, you're basically about to type in one of those special characters. In other words, we say you're about to start in an escape sequence, meaning escape anything that comes after it. Don't print it, escape it, but do what it's supposed to do. Don't print it, escape it, but do what it's supposed to do. So the \n together is one command, although it's two characters, right? And when the program sees the \n, what it does is it moves the position from where it's at here, which is line, to the next line. So let me show you how this is going to be displayed. When I compile this and then I run it, you can see that it's displayed on the second line is displayed on another line, although we are using two print statements. So what is happening is this. First line, System.out.print is going to print first line, right? Print first line. Now we know that after printing the first line, because it's just a print statement, the position stays here. But because the program saw \n, which is a special command that you can embed in your string to advance your line to the next line. So basically, as soon as it saw \n, right when it displayed the first line, right because the position was here, right? So as soon as it saw \n, the purpose of \n is to create a new line or move to the next line. So it moves the position from where it's at to the next line this way. And anything that comes after that new line character, after that \n, which is this command here, System.out.print second line, is displayed from that next line. Okay, so that's how it works. If I put one here, if I type in a \n here, now you can imagine what's going to happen, right? So let's go through it. I'm going to use the comments to explain it. Now we know comments don't affect our program. We can type it in our program, but it doesn't run. It's not part of it. It's just to help us understand things, understand concepts. So I can type in 2 \, and anything, okay, we'll talk more about comments later on, but anything I type on this exact line, this same line where the 2 / is on, it's not going to be processed by the code. It's not part of my code. It's just for me to to see with my eyes and know that, okay, this is what I'm doing. So it's not going to run. Forget about the 2 /. I just want us to go through this and try to create. Let me take this down. Try to create the outputs before we run this and cross check. So let's walk through it. So System.out.print, we know is going to go ahead and print first, right? So let's type in first because that's Let's type in first because we know this is not going to be processed. It's just a comment. So it prints first, but it encounters \n. And as soon as it encounters \n, we know that it moves the position from where it's at, which is here, to the next line. So I'm going to move to the next line. Now this is just a comment, ignore it. So now the position is where the cursor is right now. Okay, and then it prints a space because this is also something it's printing. Anything in between the quotation, it's printing it. This is a space, it prints a space too. So I'm going to add a space here, right? And then it prints line. So I'm going to type in line. And then it sees another new line character, right? And as soon as it sees the new line character, it moves, okay, to the next line, meaning move the position from where you are right now to the next line. So that's exactly what it's going to do. So it moves there. Now this is just a comment, ignore the 2 /. So it's right here, it's here now. I'm just going ahead to, don't worry about me. I'm just putting spaces before, as soon as I type in my quotations. So we are really starting from here, right? We are really starting from here, all the way down. So we are really starting from here. This space is part of the structure, but these 2 spaces are not part of this structure. So you know what? Let me just even shift these some more, just so you don't get confused. Hold on. Okay. All right. So just so you don't get confused, right? So it prints first. It sees the new line character, moves to the next line here, it prints the space. We have the space here, okay, and it prints line. It sees the new line character \n, so it moves the position to the next line here, right? And then it sees second line. Now we know this is just a print statement. This is just a print statement. So print is just going to print second, right? Second, so sorry, actually second line, second space line. And we know that print doesn't end with a new line. It's just prints whatever you told it to print and stays there. So the position is going to stay here. So we should expect something like this. I mean, something like this to be displayed. Forget about the comments for now. We should expect something like this, including the space, to display. So let's compile this because we've added some code to it. So let's recompile it so that the computer now understands this machine language, because it gets compiled to machine language. Let's run it, and we can see that that's exactly what happened. We can see that it printed the first. It printed a space here. This is a space that we were talking about. It prints a line, and it prints second line. So this is just to illustrate, right? So that's exactly what happened. Forget about these spaces. I just put them there to separate the output from the two slashes, right? All right. In essence, this is actually what I wanted to do. But because it was too jumbled together, I didn't want to do that. So I added a space here. It was still too jumbled, so I didn't want to do that. So that's why I added multiple spaces. So that's how the new line character works. You can also embed it in even a println statement. You can do that. You can change this to println, and then we can even again imagine how this is going to run. So let's take this down, do this one more time, go through it one more time, and see how it works. Let's even go ahead and add some more. So over here, as soon as it sees a backslash, it knows that so this is actually a problem here. So you see that it's funny how I actually put it right in front of the N. So let's go through this actually. As soon as it sees the backslash, it knows that one of those special characters is coming. As soon as if the next character is one of those special characters, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. If it's not, then it's going to ignore it, right? So let's go through this. Let's even put some more in here. Backslash. There's another N here, so let's put backslash N here. And then this is actually going to get confusing. But it's good because at least we are going to know how it works. And we've added ln here. Let's change one of these to let's say print. And then now let's go through it and see how the new line character works, right? So System.out.println. Well, let me use a comment here to explain this also. So two forward slashes is a comment, right? So System.out.println. Now there's an ln here, so it's going to go ahead and print first. So this is what it's going to display first. First, it sees a \n, right? So it moves the position from where it's at to the next line. So the position moves here. Now forget about these two slashes, it's just a comment. And then it prints a space and then the line, right? But then it sees a \n again, right? So it moves the position from where it's at to the next line. So I'm going to move it to the next line here. So I'm now here. But we use println, System.out.println, and println, when it's done printing everything, when it's done processing everything here, it ends also with a new line, right? Because it prints everything you told it to print, and also moves to the next line. So even though this is done, when this was done, the position was currently here. But because println also ends with a new line, okay, it's going to move from the current position to the next line here. Again, one more step here. So now the position will be here. And then now we add System.out.print. So print SECO. So it prints SECO, and it sees a \n, which is a new line character, right? So it moves the position from where it's at to the next line. So it moves the position from where it's at to the next line here. And then now it prints the D, because this is just a command. And it did it. It moved the position from where it's at to the next line here. So now it prints the D, the space, the LI, and it sees again a \n. So it moves the position from where it's at right now to the next line. So you see how this works? So now it's done processing this, and then now it prints the E on the next line here. Now this is just a print. This is just a print here, so the position stays where it's at. Okay, where it's at. It doesn't move to the next line. It stays where it's at. Anything that comes after this will be displayed right from here going. So by processing this, we now see how the new line character works, right? So let's go ahead and compile this and see if we get the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and we can see that it's the same thing. We can see the first. We can see the space before the line. We can see our space new line here. We can see circle. We can see D space LI, and we can see our E, and the position is right here. So that's how the new line character works. Okay. Now there are other there are other escape sequences, and we'll talk about that in the next video. But for now, just know that you can embed these characters or these escape sequences. We're going to talk about the rest in the next video. But this is a really common, popular one, and that's why I had to explain the concept to you here. When we talk about the other ones, it'll make much more sense. As soon as you see it sees the backslash, it knows that one of those special characters is coming. And if indeed it's a one of those special characters, it processes both of them together like this. So the backslash n together, okay, causes that command to happen, right? So that's its purpose. You can just embed these in your string, and it does what it's supposed to do, which is to move from the current position, okay, to the next line, and anything that follows that new line character will be displayed from that next line. All right, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll do everything to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time with the next video. All right, then, bye-bye.